Hi guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Tina and my aim is to improve your drawings just like others have done for me when I just started out. In today's video I want to cover some of the things I wished I knew sooner when started with pastel. Now I didn't want to bombard you with a lot of tips, so I decided to put a top 3. Now let's get this started. The first one on my list is your paper. I know you have heard this 1,000 times before, but really there is no escaping this one. It's so important to consider your surface. The first piece I ever did was on constant methane piece of paper, and I'm not saying you can't use this paper, but for me personally this didn't work. I wish I could show you the piece I made, but unfortunately, or fortunately for me, all the evidence is gone. Let me try to break down the papers. To start with, the texture of the paper or tooth also plays a vital role in your process and in the finished appearance of your work. Basically, there are 4 categories in which I would sort the papers. You've got the ingress or plate texture, which allows for a great control of gradations of value and color, but are limited in how many layers can be applied to the surface. Another textured paper is the honeycomb or dimpled surfaces. These types of papers are similar to ingress in that they have a slight texture embossed into the surface. However, the pattern looks more honeycombed or dimpled compared to ingress. Same as the ingress textured papers, this paper won't take as many layers and you might not even like the pattern showing through. Some examples of these papers are constant methane and Fabriano Tiziano. The third texture are the gritty surfaces. Papers like the Pastel Matte Constant Methane Touch or Stanley Pastel Card fall into this category. These papers grip onto the pastel extremely well, and being able to use a lot of layers is one of their biggest assets. But in general, because of their gritty nature, it tends to be a little bit more difficult to move the pastel around, although you can still blend beautifully with them. And the fourth category would be the velour surfaces. Velour surfaces have a velvety, material-like feel to them. And that's all I can say about it. I try to only talk from personal experience and I haven't tried this paper yet. Although I have got a sheet of this paper lying around in the closet for about a year now. Now, even though I've put these papers in categories, that still doesn't mean that they are the same papers. Personally, I swear by Pastel Matte from Clairefontaine. It's a sanded paper, yet it feels so smooth, which makes blending your colors a dream. While at the same time, I've never had another paper that takes so many layers. So my advice would be to test some of the different papers and stick to the one that feels right for you. But if realism is your goal, I would strongly suggest to pick one that has a gritty surface, as these can take the most layers and you'll definitely need that if you want your pieces to achieve that realistic look. Moving on to tip number 2. One of the biggest tips I can give to those artists just starting out would be to keep it simple. I know you want to dive in head deep, but sometimes it's best to take your time. Don't attempt anything too complex. If it looks difficult, then it will be difficult. Try to set realistic expectations for yourself and keep the comparison to a minimum. Keep in mind that you will improve over time and with practice. Obviously, everybody has got their own pace. Some people work fast, others work slow, and that's okay. Just be sure to push yourself out of your comfort zone every time, but don't overdo this though. I wish I could show you some of the pieces where I rushed into something that I wasn't ready for, but remember that paper bin from 2 minutes ago? You guessed it. And then for my last tip, use layers and build up to develop the detail. There are many other mediums where the details should be planned and addressed right from the get-go. Pastel, however, is not such a medium. Soft pastels are all about building those layers and building up your image through those layers. Imagine yourself building a house. You wouldn't try to add the upstairs bathroom before the foundation was in the ground. Your time in the early stages is best spent on building the tones and colors of your subject. I'll show you an image of what I mean by this here. You can block in your colors and refine as the image develops. With your underlaying values and colors in place, the details are easily added right over the top. Well, maybe not that easy in your first few pieces, but trust me, it will come. And there you have it. These are some of the things I consider to be the most important tips when you are first starting out. Focus on improving your skills, watch more videos, read blogs, but whatever you do, don't forget to have fun. Is there another tip that you think I forgot or is more important? Be sure to write them down in the comments below so that others can read it as well and we can learn from each other. If you like this video, feel free to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Your support means the world to me. See you next Friday and have a great week.